Now am I streaming? Or do I take the rest of the day off? It says I'm connected all the way. Didn't say I disconnected at all, I say. So I don't know what's happening. Am I talking to myself still? I continue to sing. Riggada-doo, riggada-dee-dee-dee. Riggada-ding-ding-ding. All right. Just spilling my heart out, giving you some of my emotion and backstory to how I feel about things. And of course, that's when it disconnects. Maybe I'm still disconnected. I don't know. I don't know. It says I'm connected. I've gotten no warnings. We do what we do. We do what we can. I don't understand Wi-Fi, man. I'm plugged in directly to the wall with the big old cord. It's not small, about 30 feet from my machine to there. Coiled around all my furniture with room to spare. Oh, if I could have thought of that. If I could have thought of that in the moment. It wouldn't have made much difference or sense. These rhymes aren't paying my rent. So close to DJ Saddam. My rhymes are great, but I'm selling them by the gram. My composure, it's kind of loose. Kicking microphones and drinking juice. What? Erasing lines that don't matter. Damn it. Too thirsty. Mannequin, Evelon, Wax-a-Mikey. This is a song. Making a mannequin official. Ooh, Wax-a-Mikey. I cannot wait to find out what this question is about. I want you to keep in mind, before you ask this question, what I'm doing right now. I'm drawing a dog with some guns. All right? Now you ask your question, and I'll tell you whether or not I have the expertise to answer that question. And I can't read anything that you are saying, Evalon, but I hope you're having a great time. Group. So make sure I get rid of all these things. I guess we discovered that some of that was swearing because Sarah is always caring and checking and keeping things safe and fixing all your problems when you have some strafe. Strafe is moving left or right and facing forward, but I wanted the word strife, but it didn't fit, like nothing is fitting now. Okay, are my buttons still working?
Yes, the button is still working. Anyway, He-Man, etc. Dundering, trapped ya.
Go back. There we go. Thought I messed up my buttons. I think you've been hidden from the general population. Be nice to me. in this nation. What happened to Mikey and his question? Mikey, did you realize that I'm just an artist guy and I can't solve your problems? But I do still have the answer. The answer is Sarah. Or if you are, do have that. If I could use words, if I could turn back time, if I could find her where, I would use the words that made sense, and I'd share. That. Yeah, Lazy Pupper is the one who answers a lot of your questions, concerns, and problems when you are submitting tickets to Streamlabs. They know the who, the why, the how, the where, of everything Streamlabs related. And I do not. I'm just a weirdo who draws pictures and talks to imaginary cats. But yes, if you are having troubles, command support in the Twitch chat and YouTube, or slide on over to streamlabs.com and create a support ticket, and someone will get back to you. With all the answers you need. Yeah, here. Anyway, what are we doing? Let's make this red for a minute. Oh, Evelon, you're lying. You're clearly lying. You can't say, sorry, I didn't mean it, and then keep doing that thing. That's how you get blocked. But that's also just, a lot of times on this channel, I run out of things to say about drawing pictures or whatever I'm doing. Or I get tired of hearing myself trying to come up with rhymes. And then it just turns into, why don't you just... Let's chop this here. There. Sometimes it just doesn't want to disconnect. Sometimes it just doesn't want to. But life advice. Sometimes don't squint your eyes and be angry. Kevin, I'm old and I know what I'm talking about. And if you and your life are you're having some sort of conversation with your friends, especially loved ones, partners, co-workers, whatever it is, people in the world. And you say to them, I'm sorry. I'm super sorry. I'll never do it again, and I mean it. And then you immediately keep doing that thing? That means nothing anymore. You become a husk of a person. People stop trusting you. People stop believing you. Meaningless apologies are the seed that creates incels. It's one of the very good seed of incel growth. becoming one of those people that says, I don't know what their problem is. I said I'm sorry. Ugh. And it's like, well, if you're still angry that you had to apologize, and then also, you know, now you're thinking of revengey type things, then, you know, then you're turning to the dark side. You're turning to the dark side. I don't know why I can't seem to bend these lines. So many extra little bits. Let me just try to smooth this. Just trying to make a simple little arch here. Just a simple little arch. It's not that crazy. And T-Rex gaming with his little arms, trying not to do too much harm. Maybe you're a Fortnite hero with kills up to 70. That's 70. One Vision Festival. How are you doing today, Bull? Yeah, there's, by the way, the other thing, just to help out Lazy Pupper, in this world, in this magical, wonderful world of streaming and channels and YouTubes and whatever, there are literally millions of more channels. So if you're just like, why isn't everybody doing what I want to do in this place? There's so many other places. There's so many other places. Roku Rava. What it do today? No one's forcing you to be here. I'm the only one who's technically forced to be here by Kevin, and honestly, he's not really here, you guys. He's not really there. Did you see my eyes pop when you said that? I can hear you, Sarah. I'm right here. I'm not but 8 to 12 inches away from your face, depending on how much you waver and weave back and forth as you talk. You crazy boy. He's not real. I'm as real as the thoughts in your head. I'm still talking. Press the button. What is going on today? This almost never happens. There's usually like maybe like one or two. People that want to pop up in the chat just to swear. In ways that I cannot read. I don't know why I hate drawing guns so much. It's not because I'm terrified of guns in real life. I mean, that's why I don't want to be around guns in real life. But as far as drawing them, it's just... I don't know. Maybe I just don't care enough about guns. Nagia. Nagistavan. Nagistavan. Nagistavan? Nagistavan. Yagi. Nagi. That's as best as I can do without some sort of phonetic help. Alright, I don't like this. You change one little thing, and then all of a sudden you got a bunch of tangent lines that just a lot of times they don't even irk me, honestly. The irkness of a tangent where it like overlaps in the wrong way. Why won't you select? There we go. Oh, you're so thorough, Lazy Buffer. Because I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying. I know some people can, and I know some people can't. And the people that can't, I have to believe, I have to assume that they are here just watching some drawing happen. And that's awesome and great. And if you don't know what I'm saying, then, you know, it's okay to just watch. Like, it's okay to just watch a show. You don't have to... Like, if you want to talk to somebody, then I'm super sorry. You know, I know a handful of French words. I know an even smaller handful of Spanish words. That's about it. So if you're looking for conversation, not to be, you know, offensive or whatever, but hey, it's personal. It's personal. Ooh, why? Personal. But yeah, if the same way that, you know, I'll be here talking my old man nonsense, referencing things from the past, you know, all 99% of my humor and or rhymes and silliness is rooted in references to things that are out of a lot of people's scope. You're still definitely like twice as young as I am, Lazy Pupper. I'm the old one here. But just because you don't get the reference points or you don't come from the same place that I do, it doesn't mean that it's like, well, this isn't for me. You can still enjoy what's happening. You know, I did. You know, I lived in a house where the housewives of various counties were on, and none of that's for me. None of that in any way, shape, or form is for me. Watching rich people waste time and money is infuriating. But I still did get quite a bit of entertainment out of it. You know. Mostly based on, you know, the other person who was actually watching, actually somewhat invested, and they're still talking about things from, I want to say pop culture, but not pop culture, because in so many ways, just like, what are these crazy rich people even talking about? This is just within their sphere of nonsense. But you know, if you're here for, say, even more than one stream, then it's like, hey, I know this guy's vibe. I know his deal. I know he's going to start ranting about some nonsense thing about just being nice to each other and either enjoying people's company or leaving people the fun alone. Like, hey, I'm having trouble in this situation. I'm not liking what you're doing. You're not liking what I'm doing. Well, I'm going to stay until everyone's having a good time. No, it's okay. It's okay to go down. It's okay to go to a different party, you know? Especially when you just got here. Like, you know, I mean, it's been minutes upon minutes now, but like, if you just get into a room and you're just like, hey, everyone's gonna have to accommodate me in some way, and it's just like, we don't know you, dog. We were all already mid conversation. You gotta kind of join in, or be fun and friendly. Fun and friendly, that's how you make friends. Having a good time, don't need to make amends. Spice Girl 420 knows what I'm talking about. And Stag Shadow has got a dog with a butt. That wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I saw a dog emote. I know it wasn't the one that Shadow posted, but the Shadow knows. That's the Shadow's whole deal. What darkness and what dog butts lie in the hearts of men, the Shadow knows. Also, a super old reference. Even the Shadow movie was from when I was a child. I drove downtown in the rain, 9:30 on a Tuesday night, just to check out the local record shop. Not the late night record shop. Call it impulsive. Kevin, I know. Don't look at me like that. Call it insane. I'm not actually old enough. I'm not from the record era. I'm from the cassette tape era. I've wound up the cassette tapes and VHS tapes with a pencil. I'm also from the pencil age when we used to use pencils. All right, let me use a thinner brush here. Oh, too far. All right, just gonna add a little bit more stupid detail. Unnecessary detail for a... No, we had records. Like, my dad had a whole set of records and stuff, but I didn't. Like, I mean, technically, you know, like my cousin's stuff, they had, you know, the like Disney records and little Disney record players and whatnot. Yeah, the only record I ever bought... Actually, no, I've bought like 3 records in my life. Did I listen to any of them? No. I think of one of them I listened to. But I got the Batman '89 soundtrack on record just to put on the wall, because, I mean, there was a time, like, record players are a big thing now. The last, like, 5-10 years, everybody's just back into, is super into vinyl. A lot of places are producing vinyl and stuff. But I feel like it was still a little more niche. But yeah, God, that was the beginning of college. Oh, don't make me do the math. It's actually super easy to do because that was like before the year 2000. So yeah, over 26 years ago. My mom still has I still call my mom on the landline. Mostly because whenever I call her cell phone, it's in a closet. It's in a closet. And then I'll, get a call or a text back like 3 days later, like, oh, yeah, no, my phone was in the closet. Well, the landline also doesn't work that great, so. And I refuse to open Facebook anymore, so. And the shadow disappears into the dark. It's nighttime. Oh, hark. I gotta sleep. Get some rest so tomorrow you can be your best. Saturday adventure. Go to the beach or the Center for Arts and Learning? I don't know. I'm just pulling words out of my butt, so. So thirsty. So thirsty. I gotta make a bed spell. It's in this gift. It works so well. I think it works better like that. But no, they still have a big bulbous head. Alright, let's find the rough. Looking tough. Moving back this way a little bit. There we go. And sometimes my pen just won't select things the way I want them to. Alright, and for once, let's be responsible, and we'll put the colors on a separate layer. There was something back here that I was completely ignoring, I think. Oh yeah, just the shadow talking about records. Well, I didn't drift too far away from that particular line of nonsense. Let's pick some colors. Start with kind of a blue. And we'll call it Gunmetal Blue. Old Pegleg, what do you say? How you doing on a Good Friday? Not Good Friday in the religious sense, just Friday is good because it's the ends of the week. That wasn't a rhyme, it was kinda soft, but it wasn't a crime. All my rhymes are one syllable, at least. I'm not much of a rapping beast. I keep doing it, I won't stop. I was saying before when the stream, I'm gonna say cropped out. But yeah, I was saying before while I was just sitting here talking to myself, thinking the stream was running, is that so much of my streaming time and most of the things that I do in a public setting, is just an entertaining panic attack for everybody. Again, I very much enjoy doing stuff like this. But every time, right before the stream, even when I did my own stream, even when I'm making a video that I can delete at any point in time, I always still feel like, don't watch me doing stuff. Don't watch me doing stuff, please. But also, watch me do stuff. I need you to watch me do this. And just that, the horrific dichotomy in your head that is, the nonsense of anxiety where, your brain makes things up and says, nah, you shouldn't be doing this. What gives you the right? What makes you so special to think that you can just sit there and draw pictures, talk to imaginary characters, and then within the chaos and nervousness, fill it with rhymes that often don't even work. But in the attempt, again, mostly just entertaining myself, but also entertaining Spice Girl 420 and other people. Match the guns too much. Now this is a good example. Now I've been thinking too much about the drawing to remember what I was talking about. And then other times I'm like, oh, I'm thinking too much about what I'm talking about to remember what I should have been drawing. And then, the built-in shame that we have as human beings, or at least I have, that, occasionally will tell you, hey, you should be doing one of these things, not the other. And, you get that weird, overbearing dad thing in your head of like, why aren't you getting good at this other thing? Because I don't care about that other thing. This is what I'm doing. I had something good in my head that went with. Oh yeah. So then, on those days, again, this is how you can grow bitterness, or you can grow. Period. Not grow a period, but grow yourself, mentally, spiritually, whatever you want to do. When you do skip, when you do decide, like, doing a stream isn't for me, writing a song isn't for me, drawing a picture isn't for me, that's for these other people, and then you go out into the world, or whatever, you drift through your phone, and, you will see, like, hey, that's basically the thing that I wanted to do, and I'm pretty sure I could do it better than that. It's not fair. This person is doing the exact thing that I was about to do, except, boo, 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 boo. And there, that is your I can't think of the word I want to use, the inciting incident in writing terms, but the pivotal moment. Yes, there's a pivotal moment in your life when you've actively decided not to do the thing you want to do. And then when you see it happening, where you both think, I could do what this person's doing, but instead of doing it, you start seething and just grow angrier and more indignant towards the thing you want to do, because it's like, well, everyone's doing that thing, duh. And then you become that person that is just like, hey, we're gonna go get ice cream. You want to go get ice cream with you? Like, everyone's always getting ice cream. I wish I had some ice cream. Like, no, we're actually inviting you to go to, like, oh yeah, we're going to stop inviting you to do things because you're still bitter about that one time you didn't get ice cream, or you didn't do the thing everyone was going to do, and you could have just did it. And I mean, like, I used to work in, like, television production, where in order to get a show to exist even slightly, you had to just, like, we write some stuff, pitch some stuff to a bunch of people, make a bunch of show bibles, designs, whatever, and then take that out to a bunch more people with the people you've already accumulated, and then hopefully it keeps going up the rungs of the ladder until somebody on the ladder is like, all right, we're the TV station and we're the distributor, and we're the whatever the other thing that was involved, the funder, and we say this can exist, so go ahead and make it. And so many times it's like, oh, I just want to go home. So many of the animators that I worked with, it's like, I just want to go home and just make something. Why can't I just go home and make something? And then YouTube was invented, and it's like, well, you can. But back then it was just, here's YouTube, put a video on there. Does anybody see it? No, except for the handful of YouTube people that watch a YouTube. And now, YouTube, Twitch, all of the things, just social media in general. Whether it's about making money or not, that's a whole other separate thing. But as far as just expressing yourself, making your show, your song, your art, whatever that is, you can just do it now. There's virtually, if you can watch a stream, if you can watch somebody do the things, then 90% of the time you have the exact same gear needed to do that thing. And then, whatever you are missing, you build up to that. You work towards whether, again, I've made hundreds of little short animations, nonsense, stop motions, characters, this and that, and I've made zero money from it. Zero. My YouTube is not monetized. Just reading the specifications needed to get a monetized YouTube is like, all right, cool. Hopefully I get 1 million views someday, and then I can start being monetized, maybe, if I meet the other criteria. But because I have a job, and to me, the point of my job is so that at the end of the day, presumably I have some energy left from drawing for people already. The point of a job to me is to, again, people say it's like, oh, it's to afford food and shelter. And it's like, all right, I've got food and shelter. And within that food and shelter, I've got some paper, I've got some pens, I've got some paint, I've got a computer that I use for work, and the same kind of programs I use for my job. Thankfully, I am one of the luckiest boys in the world because, job-wise, I get to not only experiment with other people's characters, designs, such and such, and this and that, and make cool things. Sometimes I make cool things, and they don't even get used at all. And it's like, all right, that sucks, but I still got to do some practicing. I would rather not waste things. Like, if I make something and I do like it, I'd rather it got used. But, yeah, a lot of times it's just the thrill of being able to do it. And in this case it is like, and you get paid to do it. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, if I want to do something, if I do a stream, whatever the stream ends up being about, it's my stream, it's my show. If I make a YouTube thing, if I do a little skit where me and Skeletor or me and my cat argue about something, and like I mentioned last week or the week before, my brother said outright to me years ago that it's like, I don't like Milo, I don't like that Milo voice, and third thing, I think that Milo voice is basically just your own voice. So it's like, oh, cool. So that's 3 levels that I can feel bad about a thing that I've made a very significant part of my life. Of course, also when my real dog died, he took the time to tell me that dog should have died long ago because he was stupid. So, whatever. Some people need to learn how to be more polite. What did I do to instigate that? I talked about how great his girlfriend's dog was. He was just like, oh, the dog just follows me around. I was like, that is the greatest dog in the world. He's the cutest, most adorable, most loving little old man. Those dogs that are like 70 years old, but he looks like a brand new puppy. Oh, love that dog. Love him. Just like, woo. Hearts in my eyes. And I'm just, farting compliments. And it's just like, oh, speaking of dogs, I'm glad yours is dead. All right, then. I'm going to go back upstairs and wait till my mom's ready to leave. Then you all can sit around and wonder, hey, how come he never visits? How come he never visits? I remember when he mentioned that thing. Yeah, but still. Oh, why did I drift over into that area? The stream isn't therapy. The stream isn't therapy. Hey, I think you were trying to segue into me the thing for some reason. I think we were talking about, doing little skits with me and you and little comic strips and how, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Like, even if somebody did, no matter how close they are to you, no matter how important they are to your life, they told you that the thing that you like is stupid, but you enjoy it, and you do have some friends and people that enjoy it, then that's okay. And then, what you're doing is good, and that person is just being an inconsiderate, little incel boy. And yes, it's always a boy. He said it, not me. My hands are clean. My hands are clean. And I'm Kevin. Good job, Kev. Good chiming. But anyway, why was I saying all that stuff? Oh, I'm trying to be encouraging. So yeah, in this day and age, who could ask for more? Crime wave is high and mugging is mysterious. Police detective in chief are furious. Get me a quarter. No, I was a witness. Get me a quarter. I need a reporter? Call April O'Neil. Oh, sweet damn it. Another song that I listen to way more often than I should. And a very strong reason as to why my rhymes aren't that great, because that song has got some real sad rhymes. Sad as in, not amazing. Am I still online? It says the stream is still going. I assume that I am. Okay. Let me pause that. I just opened up Twitch again, just be like, hey, as is the style of the times, as soon as I open my heart, that's when things break. I just naturally assumed, it's probably just talking to myself that whole time. But yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So instead of going into whatever it is, going into a channel, going on the whatever social media that you enjoy, just to drop hot turds on something, knowing, especially if you can take the time to step back and look inside your brain and realize that, oh, I don't hate this thing. I'm just jealous that I'm not doing it because however many, 5 days ago, 5 years ago, 50 years ago, I always wanted to do that thing. And I see people doing that thing, and it's just like, most of the time, that opportunity exists. It's all there. Like even Streamlabs in and of itself, the Streamlabs desktop and mobile apps and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, there's the paid version where there's a bunch of extra stuff and unlimited this and that. And it's magical and amazing. But then there's also the super free version. You can just download it and you can still do a stream. It still has all the, plug and play things. And a lot of things are like that now. I feel the need to sum up, even though I'm pretty sure I just summed up. This isn't a summation, but a slight tangent, but still related. But lately, especially, I keep thinking about, and I'll admit, I don't think I watched Ant-Man #1. Ant-Man #2, I thought was great. I was like, this is fantastic. I'm having a great time. Wait. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I was just like, wait, no, Quantumania wasn't the second one, was it? And then Quantumania, I also thought was super fun. Lots of really dumb things, and, just like, why are you guys doing this? Just say the thing. Michelle Pfeiffer, just tell them. Just tell them. Just use your right words.
I wish the Goblin King would take the baby to the castle beyond the labyrinth.
I was too busy trying to think of the lines from the labyrinth, which I didn't get right, even remotely close, to remember anything that I was trying to actually say. Use your right words. What the fun was, Kevin? I know. I should be looked at like that. I fully lost why I started saying this. Nope, it's gone. It's completely gone. Well. 4 seconds ago, or whatever, 35 seconds ago, I definitely had a good point in my head. Well, this isn't what it was. Your pal Lex is getting epic. What the hex? Ninja Turtles, Partners in Rhyme. Anyway, yeah. For so long in my own life, I was very jealous. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong here. It's on a separate layer, but I made it worse. There we go. Yeah, like the amount of time in my life that I did spend becoming bitter and jealous of people making just art. Like literally, like, oh, they're making a painting. Like I could paint like that, but also it's like, but I don't want to deal with art galleries. The first time I was asked an art gallery, like, so how do you get art in here? And it's like, it's quite the process, and all the things they said were just like, oh, so I have to basically already be, popular amongst this specific group of people who runs the art thing. Like, yeah, all right then. I don't want to do that. You guys are pretentious, and I don't like it here. And then my actual friend keeps having art shows literally, 75 feet away from my apartment. And I keep waiting for him to say, hey, when are you gonna put something in one of my art shows where I have multiple artists? And he hasn't, and it's like, that's fine. Also, usually that art is a lot more subversive and or political, like has a lot of meaning behind it. And I'm currently working on a painting of Jem from the holograms. So I get how I don't really fit there. Of course, that being said, the guy who's like in charge of stuff over at that place now, he's got a big giant Skeletor painting above his desk that is like, like whatever. I don't know where his desk is. I do because I was there. Yeah, no, it's like literally like right around the corner from the art gallery part. Like I do have art there now. Like he bought it from me. And I brought it over. But I haven't been in an art show over there. And in September, I'm going to go there and read some poems. So between now and September, I gotta write some more poems. I don't, but I have to at least dig through my poems and probably finish some of them. Not because anybody's specifically saying, hey, come up with some fresh new poems. They're just like, hey, we want to raise some money for dying people, but we want it to be fun. So, will you come over here and be fun? And then maybe read some of your dumb poems? I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I'll try to write and illustrate another nonsense poetry book. God knows I've got, a ton of finished and or half-finished poems in I don't know, in this computer, in my phone, in Google Drives. I just gotta dig a lot of them out. Try to remember what I was thinking about at the time. And the reason is not because there's a show, but because the show is inside us all. The journey along the way, etc. Ooh, snap. What did I just do? Nope, there we go. That was one of my ideas. I did start something, like so many of my projects are just like, how do I have an idea for how to not do a project that's still a project, and they always keep blowing up into bigger projects. There's one that I really want to do, but I just like the exercise, if you will, the plan was, I hate to give it away because I still want to do it. But it was basically, I do a lot of just comic strips of me and Milo, the cat. That's me. I'm the cat Milo. I don't always wear a hat, but for some reason it's fun in this animated form for me to wear a little hat. And that's all you need to know about me. Also, I'm mean, and I do the opposite of whatever this idiot says. That's true. Hello! Card Maker game. And, so one of I've written a bunch of things that were just like, this started as like, this is a 3-panel story, or even a 1-panel story. And then I think of some more things. Next thing I know, oh no, this has to be a whole graphic novel. This has to be like a minimum of 30 to 50 pages. And that will always be, coincide with, hey, here's another project you have to do in real life. I said hello, don't keep spamming me with the same word over and over though. But one comic strip that I really wanted to do, I think I actually did start drawing it. I did actually, now that I think about it. I've started drawing this. And I do that every once in a while as well. I've got a few different comic strips / stories partially drawn. And that's usually, a lot of times, that's what the poetry books that I've made and or comic strip books, that's what they evolved from, was here's a bunch of half-finished stuff. And there are literally in my last little poetry book there, sometimes I rhyme, volume 2. Oh, that's weird. Let's just shade this whole part in. Like, there's absolutely a page that is like, the first like line or two to a poem, and then it stops, and then a big space, and at the bottom there's just like, hey, so here's the deal. I tried to copy and paste this to another file, and somewhere in there I hit copy again and already deleted, or I cut and pasted, but I just cut and then copied again, so now I have nothing to paste, and I can't remember at all any of what I was about to write. But go ahead and feel free to, imagine something real great. Anyway, on to the next page. Stuff like that, where it's like, hey, hello, Momo. Momo hating club. Gotta hate that Momo. That's a Pokemon, right? We're talking about we're talking about the Pokemon? Oh no. Oh no. No, keep consistent. Let's not get crazy. but one of the, I guess technically you can't steal this, but the one thing that I keep forgetting until just now, is basically, okay, you have to remember, working on 2 layers. There we go, get rid of you. Oops, unlocked everything. No, that's just dirt on my screen. Oh, that's pretty good. Hopefully, okay, yes. And then the next, the next message reveals it's good hate. It's good. Like, I love that. There's nothing more fun and wonderful. Like, I don't know if my friend Amanda is floating around watching the stream anywhere. But like, she's one of my best friends for a million years. Also started as a bitter enemy. Then, you know, eventually the things that she would say to irk me are now just my fun nicknames. And and I quietly tagged her in this post because she's like, oh, you're doing this stream again? Like, maybe me and the kids will watch or whatever, if we notice. But, you know, we have a lot of fun just being jerks to each other, and like there's zero actual hate. It's nothing but pure love and friendship for 1,000 years. Rick and Morty style, 1,000 years. You and me being friends. Hey, we're friends. And I'll even, you know, drop pictures for your kids and have a great time. But no matter what we say, it's always up for ridicule. But it's never, you know, it's never just like, oh, you're stupid. The thing that you said is stupid and you're stupid. You know, just that fun version of tearing each other apart. But you got to be careful. You know, there's so many people that are like, that's just the way I am. I tell it like it is. And if anything happens, I'm just a jerk. And then you love me for it or you hate me for it. And those dudes, and not just dudes in that case, but mostly. But you know, when you're like that, again, you have to understand that you put people off by being mean on purpose and be prepared to apologize. Whereas, you know, very often I'll slip and it'll be people that I don't know very well and they'll be saying something crazy and I'll be like, oh, what about this silly thing? And everybody will be like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, sorry, just joking around. Thought we were on this level, but we are not, and that's totally fine too. I can just be pleasant and fun. But those people that are like, ugh, you don't get it. I'm having fun. If you're not having fun, then yeah. And it's like, guy, read the room. Read the room. Like, I don't know, a good example? An example. I don't want to put good on it, but a pretty fun, silly example is I had a podcast, one of the podcasts I had through my life, and we specifically went to one of our other friends where it's like, hey, you're fun and funny. Here's a fun idea that we thought of. You should be our nemesis. Just, just be our nemesis. Just be the antithesis to whatever we say. At your leisure, whenever you feel like it, just for fun. And it's just like created a whole like YouTube account for him. Just for the purposes of hating us for fun. Like we were all on the same page. Doma Arrow Delecto, it's Mr. Electro. 1, 2, 3 Z Ghost. 1, 2, 3 Z Ghost. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's unlock both layers. Lasso tool. Wait. I keep forgetting that there's different kind of lasso tools in this program. Touch the gun. There we go. What if I had a nice straight line for once? It doesn't matter. Up a bit. I'm gonna actually make it a little bit wider. It's so close to the end of the day, but I'm glad you stopped by just to say you don't need to fear. I'll always be here, even if I'm late. Don't hesitate. I know. Okay, you know what? I feel like I had some good lyrics in my head, but I'm gonna combine these into one layer. There we go. Now I'm drawn with the mouse. No reason to. And I keep forgetting that this is a emoticon and not a logo, man. Alright, let's get rid of that. Oops. Let's round this off a little bit. There we go. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just some obsessive compulsive nonsense sitting on the decision fence, wondering which side to come down, and giving this dog a big old frown, while our hero gets a Fortnite crown. How many crowns to make you king of the world? Just wanna be king of the world in Fortnite. Got a call to duty, not talking about out of your patootie. I'm talking to the fighters. This was a mistake. Oops. It's just a ballad to the FPS shooters in the streaming world. I'm gonna keep hitting undo, undo. There we go. I want it dark over here, though. He's got a giant kingpin body. He's got 2 guns and he's naughty. He goes in the yard, not a potty, 'cause he's your dog. What? And going on Mog. I'm not sure what that means, but he comes from the streets. He eats some cured meats. He's got some abs. One more bit of shadow here. Why did I do that? There we go. Oh, too many levels of shadow. But I'm doing it anyway. As we gather around all the dearly bereft, make sure you don't want to turn left at the crossroads of your life. Oh, it's filled with questions, it's filled with strife. The word from before that cuts like a knife. Be nice to your wife. Alright, let me check the list. I'm gonna say done with this dog. This dog is done. I'm done. I'm done with this dog. There's 44 minutes left of the day. Where's the list? Alright, let's see what's on the lists. Extend this window, I can. Now I can read all the words, my friend. I don't mean to offend. What is this? Oh yeah. You're the one. Wait, did you post this twice? Okay, no, that is the one that made me angry from earlier. Ooh, I want to do this one, but speaking of using Procreate instead of this program, brush-wise, I think I could do this one way better in Procreate. I'm not going to give this away, but I might actually, if I think of it, do this one off stream, before next stream. Literally just to practice with some brushes in Procreate. And then you'll take it or you'll leave it. And I won't tell you who I'm talking about. But if you're still in the room, we were talking about Procreate earlier. Wink, wink. And I'll give you one nudge. We're not going to nudge. I won't budge. Through the list, I will trudge. Okay. I did say I was going to do this one last time, and then I didn't. Okay. One vision. There you go. We got One Vision Dinosaur Festival. Now I need a reference to pull. Do I know words? Is this? Okay, nope, that's giving me a person. I didn't even come close to remembering that word from 2 seconds ago. All right. I'm going to start this one. This last week, I already forget who, but we were talking about what is a peent? What is a peent bird? They're apparently a North American bird that I should be seeing all the time. But when I did look them up, they're mostly in other parts of Canada, I think, but I think we still have these around. But I don't know. The pictures of this thing with its mouth open is like, I feel like I would have noticed one of these things. Sometimes your Paw Patrol dog grows on up, and then they hit the gym and get ripped and drink their sups. Laments. Okay. Alright, this is just an on-screen element, so I can kind of do whatever I want. Is that its beak? Yeah. What a weird bent beak bird. Okay. I'm gonna try and doodle a little preet bird. Or no, that's why I spelled it wrong. Peent. A peet bird. That, Erie Coffee. Oh, yeah, Erie Coffee. They've been around for a while. Erie Coffee and a bird. Try not to be too absurd. That is how my rhymes always go. That is the word that fits. So, what if I jump in and try to add something else? Then I scratch your thigh, tip over the garbage can, and then I say, that's your problem, man, 'cause I'm here, clip clop. I'm like a horse at a round-all stomp. I don't have the weight or the power to nudge, but I will continue to trudge. I know you said that earlier, like 4 minutes ago, but, you know, I'm thinking about a bird over here that you just put on the screen and drawing it and stuff, and that's what I'm thinking about. No, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking about. Stop stealing my thoughts. Hey, guess what I'm thinking about? Me doing more drawings, not wasting time, doing nonsense little skits that go nowhere. Is that what you're? Exactly, Sarah. I've rearranged time for you, and it's just fair. It's just fair. That's literally the opposite of what the. Should you need us, Sarah? Yes. Should you need us? You know, before you go and fight that evil Goblin King, you can always we'll always be right here, Sarah. No, that's you're not good at this. You're not good at this. Touché. Anyway, I'm gonna change the pencil to blue. Use the right color picker, dude. Okay, that's what's going on. Still selecting the wrong one. Okay, let's try not to once again get too caught up. A little bit thinner. There we go. Trying not to get too caught up in the actual likeness of the bird and do something cartoony and fun. Why do I draw circles like that? And the reason, of course, is because I don't do the warm-up circle drawings that are just due in the morning. I don't do it. I've never done it. Like maybe once when Jacques was like, I gotta do my warm-ups, and I'm like, you really do that? People really do that? And Jacques was like, yeah. And I was like, well, that explains why you're awesome, and I'm in awe of you and jealous of you all the time, because you do your warm-up drawings in the morning. I don't. I just don't. Sorry, Kevin. It's just true. Do I still end up drawing 300 circles before a drawing starts? Yes. But it doesn't count. Ground up vegetables and fruit. What a weird, weird bird. And it's not the word. Speaking of Procreate, now I remembered one of the things that I hate about it. Not even hate about it, because I do it here when I do have the option, but the fill action in Procreate, where I'll pick a fun brush. Yay, I'm doing fun stuff with this nice textury, markery, watercolory brush. And now I've made an outline, and I want to fill that in. I'm going to grab the fill square or circle right from Kevin, and then swipe it down to fill that line work in, and then the whole thing just turns. The whole thing just turns. There's only like one brush so far that I'm like, well, this is a cool brush. This is a lot like using the flash brush to me. But now I've had so much fun. I've been already having so much fun with these other brushes. What's the deal? What's the deal? Renee Keys. Renee Keys is on the board. I'm playing those keys like it's untoward. I don't know what that word means or if it's real. Oh, this bird is so weird. Yeah, I want to... Jam it way over here. Down. It's a little more structurally correct. But I also find that, like in Photoshop and all of the programs, we've decided on Rin, right? I already forget. That am I still in line with the thing? But yeah, like Photoshop, I feel like the fill bucket is honestly kind of useless 90% of the time. Like, oh, now I still have to paint around the edges to fill that little gap it leaves. Every time. And I know I'm not by no means a Photoshop genius. And whereas with the vector stuff, like with this one, I'll do a sketchy nonsense. And then you want to fill it in. That's like, I'm going to leave a bunch of holes. And I'm like, yes, that's fine. Because I can zoom all the way in and I can see where all the holes are. And just fill them in. So no matter how far I look, you zoom in 1,000,000%. And it's still smooth. Casinas has got a big dancing crew of dinosaurs dancing for me and dancing with you. Happy as they can be on a nice Friday. Some people call me C. I should have added some more syllables before I got to C. And to complete the flow and feel, making it real. Try not to steal too many rhymes from other songs. Do you know about the diphthongs? I can't really remember what that is. I know it's when two words kind of come together and make a sound that sounds like cheese whiz. It doesn't, but that's just a rhyme. Pup. And the dinosaurs dance. And the dinosaurs dance. Don't know why you're doing this, Ashoka. Ashoka and Anakin. I think that they were friends. I didn't watch any extra animated Star Wars after that, so I don't know. I'm not Streamlabs Cassine Haas. I'm Curtis, and this is Kevin. Kevin is technically Streamlabs. I am the Alpha and the Omega, from here to eternity and everywhere in between. It's me, I'm Kevin. I'm the one that should be seen. You just draw pictures and nobody cares, but I am here floating and getting all the stares. You'll never know and you'll always wonder who controls the rain and the thunder. Ashoka, give it up. I can't understand what you're writing, and you're just filling the keyboard with letters, and I know you're not programming. Hold on, there's more exposition. Oh, yes, I should have known that. See, I keep forgetting. Like, you know, there was so much of that stuff. Like, I really didn't like the style of the 3D. I mean, some of it was really awesome, but there was a bit that was like, oh, I'd rather the 2D Gennady Tartakovsky style of the original Clone Wars animation. Like, that was some life-changing stuff for me. I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen! Let's make more cartoons every day! And then, I don't know. I just didn't care anymore. I think I just didn't care anymore. I'm pretty cheap. I paid for Disney Plus for like a month or two when I was like supposed to be laid up after surgery, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch all of The Mandalorian. And then by the second episode of The Mandalorian, I'm like, this is a Western show, and I don't enjoy those. I'm so not interested. Even though, like, again, there was robots. There's so many things about it that I should have loved. So many actors in it that I'm like, these people are great. But by the second episode, I'm just like, oh, I don't care about The Mandalorian. And Grogu, super adorable. So good. But also, but even the old one, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there was a point where I just watched them to death. Let's say screw it and put another eye over here. Who cares what the thing looks like? Like, I'm only literally just recently, and I definitely knew it before because I was re-listening to The Neighborhood Listen, and I think also on Comedy Bang Bang, both places, Paul F. Tompkins mentioned the fact that he was watching Andor, and bringing up the fact that Andor is a guy's name, and it's not about Andor the place. Isn't Andor a place? I feel like it's got to be a place. I think I'm probably just mashing Alderaan and some other place together in my head. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure that show's been over for a while. But I'm also, I don't know, I'm at that age where, I mean, I'm older than, what does this thing's feet look like? They're always buried. What about you? Show me your feet. You got normal bird feet or what? Alright, two big, one little, very velociraptor-y. Like, I'm now significantly older than my dad was when I was here going like, why won't you watch any of these new movies? What about this new TV show? And he was just like, nah, if it's not Gunsmoke, I don't care. And just like, that show's the worst. I think that's the reason that I don't like Western stuff solely comes down to my dad. Like, Star Trek's stupid. I don't watch the Star Trek. And I didn't think it was cool either when I was a little kid. I'm like, I don't get this either. But it was like Gunsmoke was on, and then original TNG Star Trek was on. Wait, no, not TNG. That's the Next Generation. TOS, that's what they call it. The original series, Terms of Service Star Trek. And those things were on, like, I don't know, Sunday. That's all it was on Sunday. And my dad would watch Star Trek and hated it and would just complain, like, I'd rather just watch more Gunsmoke. And it's just like, well, that show was awful as well. Just a bunch of, hey, we're old-timey cowboys, and we all have drinking problems. And I'm just like, I already live in that house. I don't want to watch the TV show version of this. And we're not allowed to shoot our dads like the Harrenhal Western Times. I'm a monster. But whatever. Sometimes you have to spend your entire childhood being driven around in a car with somebody who is very drunk trying to teach you that, hey, sometimes it's okay, even though it's an automatic car, it's okay. You keep 1 foot over the gas or 1 foot over the brake while you're driving, so that way if you really need to stop real quick, your foot's already there. Like, every driving person says that's not a good idea. And then he'll be like, hey, well, we'll almost hit somebody. These are real stories I shouldn't be telling. There's a bunch of times we'd like almost hit somebody. And my dad would like, again, I didn't realize this until I'm like in my 30s, 40s. That it was like, oh, it wasn't for his reason. So, because whatever. Crazy old alcoholics, they all have all of their stories are like, here's how I'm the hero of this story. I was like, pretty sure that's a story of you robbing a store. No, it was different back in those days. We didn't have anything, so you had to just go rob a store, while the guy was watching you and, make sure you get away with it. And this is how we were good at it. It's just like, no, that's just crime, dog. That's just crime. Like, no, we didn't have anything. I was like, no, you've already told me 20 other stories about how you had multiple jobs and, according to other people in the family, you just spent all that money on getting drunk. Damn it, I went too far into another tangent and forgot why. Oh, yes, TV. So yeah, it was like, it drove me nuts as a kid that my dad, my mom, everybody older than me, which again, now we're realizing like they weren't really that much older than me. I was, it was like, you guys were barely even 20 when I was born. Like, that's insane. Like those people that I thought were adults when I was a kid, like they were like just 22 years old. Like, that's inconceivable to me. Irresponsible at best. But I'm alive and everything worked out. But yeah, like I find like I've become that thing where it's just like, why would you just keep watching these same shows over and over again? And and now I am just like, all right, I want to watch something, but I also don't want to watch anything. I'm tired of the world and society, and new references to things that are currently happening make me sad. But, or so I should say. Oh yeah, so I'll just throw on Taskmaster. Like, I've watched every season of Taskmaster 1,000 times. And a few other shows like that where I'm just like, I want to watch something. I'll watch this. The amount of times I've watched Smosh play darts, like those 4 different episodes of darts, 1,000 million times. I've watched those over and over again. Every time YouTube suggests them, I'm like, yeah, let's watch them again. Why not? I know that they'll make me feel good and not remind me that society is crumbling around me. What are we talking about? Nitro, we have Streamlabs Desktop, like OBS, allowing you to stream on PC, Mac, Streamlabs Mobile for Android, iOS, and Streamlabs OBS plugin if you choose to use OBS and still want to use Streamlabs alerts. There's a whole pile of partnership integration. Who's 27? I assume... Oh yeah, the Streamlabs Mobile has been around for a while. I only ever actually used it like once, like years ago. Actually, in this apartment, before I lived in this apartment, when my friends lived here, and my friend was like, should I be like streaming my artwork? And I'm like, yeah, it's easy. And I was like, look, we can do it from our phone. And then we were both like doing a live stream from that living room. And then they moved back to California, and I took their apartment. And they're in California. Oh, and guess who 27 is? Ooh, did they just tell me in the chat, in my work chat? I was gonna guess. It was part of the Sarah crew. I'm always afraid of... I keep doing that, but I'm always terrified of using people's real names in the chat when you use your streamer name. You know, especially when it's like, you know, I'm a mod, I work for the company, I do the things. So you don't want to be like, you know, I don't want to dox anybody by accident. And even with the Sarah thing, I feel like I use that, you know, between me and Kevin, like, I mean, just in regular life, I say the name Sarah 7,000 times a day. So you can't prove that even though she just corroborated it, nobody can get me to prove that that when I'm calling this Sarah a Sarah, that it's like prove it. The same as like if I'm just telling a random story and I'm like, hey, so I go to the store and then this lady's there and she's like blah 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 and I'm like, whoa, Susan, calm down. And then somebody's like, who is this Susan person you keep running into? And I'm like, I've only actually ever met like 2 Susans in my life. One was awesome, one was mildly evil and kind of ruined my life a little bit. Well, not my life, but the life of a whole team of people, and I'd have to relay the nonsense that this Susan would say and be like, sorry guys, she wormed her way into the company and now she kind of is in charge of everything. And then another Susan who was awesome, but it's, you know, it's my go-to name where, you know, everybody has one where it's usually somebody that you don't know. Like I've never met I can't think of any names that I haven't met before. It's like, I don't know anybody named Julia. So it's like, oh, so if I give an example of just like some brave person is dealing, you know, saying something, and I need to just throw a name in that story, I mean, Susan is mine, but whatever. That's... I'm not going to lie to you. I'm partially just also running up the clock here. I mean, I could technically stop whenever I feel like it. There's no mandate for me to fill a certain amount of streaming hours. It's just get on there and draw to your heart's content. You know, to help people see and understand and know that there's a whole bunch of people at Streamlabs that make it happen. Like the Lazy Pupper and 20_7 and Fortnite years ago. there's like a big team of those guys that are constantly not only answering and sourcing out the problems that you have, but also looking ahead to just like, oh, what could be an issue later on? Let's figure out what the solutions are before people start having a problem with it, and then also like just, hey, I had an idea for a widget or an app. Let's throw together some mock-ups and see if somebody wants to build that. If it is a fortuitous or cromulent thing that people will want, etc. And then there's another whole team of people all around the world. Statues crumble for me. Who knows how long they've been programming all the Streamlabs stuff, and then between just the website itself, they don't just send everything here. Website people, go do that. That's all. Streamlabs.com is run by Streamlabs people. And then, anyway, if you do follow Streamlabs on the social medias, they occasionally will do the artist appreciation, which I mentioned, I don't know, last week or the week before, where there's there is a whole bunch of people that yeah, that's what I think too about that comment, Kev. That's what I think too. It's just. Sometimes you die on a stream, and that's okay. That's not what I mean. I'm just having fun, and it doesn't really matter all the numbers are higher or lower in my bladder. But yeah, it happens every once in a while. Last week there was like 800 people, and somebody was still just like, hey, not many people watching. Like, my own normal stream, I'd have 2 people who are my best friends. And then occasionally maybe 1 or 2 other people would show up, and I was still just like, yeah! We're flying by the seat of our pants, riding lightning beams like Wonder Woman for some reason. And, and again, if you were here a lot earlier when I was, deriding people who say stuff like that, you will know that just because you're not up to somebody else's specifications, you're not, yeah, I try to do every Friday personally, but other people, occasionally other streamers will take over the channel. Every so often, but, a lot of times it's just me. Just taking a break from my normal Streamlabs job of drawing stuff and animating things to draw stuff and animate things. What was I talking about? Ah, yes, artist appreciation. I was talking about appreciating things. Gord. So yeah, Eric and a lot of the people on the team have been taking the time to highlight the actual physical, real people in the world that make all the overlays and the alerts and all the stuff in the themes library, and however far that goes. When back in the days when there was pets and stream collectibles, I made most of those, and Albert and Omar and Corbin just made a bunch of these things, and I didn't realize that so many of the themes in the theme library and all those alerts and all those different things, so many of the people that make them are just a person. Like, I thought these were being farmed out to companies that, like, made a bunch of stuff. Then it was like, here you go, we're just shoveling stuff in. And it's just like, no, we have, Corbin and a bunch of people, like, source out artists that they like, that do that kind of stuff. And and if they try to submit something in AI, they get booted. And sometimes it makes it through, and then it ruins my day. I had to spend a whole bunch of time redoing a bunch of promotional stuff because somebody gave us AI, and I didn't notice because it was all covered up with a bunch of, ethereal magic and stuff. And then it was like, hey, you got to get rid of all of this guy's stuff because he's been AIing us. And it's like, I love it here. I because we don't take time for the AIs. Making art because we do it with these guys, with our hands and our eyes. We're trying our best not to despise. The art of making things without to generate. Oh, that's not a good sentence. I'll venerate. Don't know what that word means. But yeah, like I said, like, I don't think anybody hates it or, like, you know, finds it a slog to do their job. There's a lot of appreciation for anybody who is just like, I have an idea and I want to do it. Like, all right, go for it. And then it's either like, yeah, that's great, or, oh, that's not going to work out. Let's move on to the next thing. And it's not like you had a bad idea, you're fired. It's like, the only way to get to the next good idea is to have some bad ideas. And you know, almost everybody, you know, I would say it was like, I probably stream the least. I'm the least stream savvy person in the entire company. I'm positive of that. Like, there can't possibly be anybody that knows less than me about what's going on. Yeah, I'm often still drawing and working on whatever animations I have to do during meetings where they discuss things. Well, that's because I'm an old man. I've been waiting my whole life for a job that's just like, hey, we need a handful of things this style and this way by this time. Cool. Hey, here's another couple of things. Hey, you got to do this, learn this other program. Like, I've always wanted to learn that other program. This is going to be nerve-wracking and exhausting, but I have a place to apply the stuff that I'm learning, and most of the time... Oh, I forgot what I was doing. Most of the time... whatever the new extra things are things that I've always wanted to know. And it's like, well, if it also helps me get my work done, and I get to then jump over and use those same things to do some Milo stuff, to do my stop motion. Like I didn't know anything about After Effects for 1,000 years, and I spent almost a whole year being a co-teacher to a class that was mostly After Effects. The other teacher knew the After Effects. I was just coming in with the, hey, here's how to, you know, we got to keep focus on adding pizzazz to your reels and the whatever. It was more or less a pointless busy time class that they just needed to give me some hours, because I'm like, I'm just here to fill in for anybody. You don't need to, I don't care. But that whole course was a big old mess. And when they were like, hey, so it's the end of your contract, and I'm like, I know, see you never, babies, see you never. And they were like, no, we want you to stay. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you do, but you don't know how against all of the practices here that I am. Let me list them. And then then they're like, well, no, it's not that bad. No, we just have to, sure, it's a flawed system, and we act like we're doing everything by a certain set of rules. There's actually another secret set of rules. And I'm like, yeah, that stuff, no. It's like, when a student comes to my office in tears at how crazy the world is, I want to be able to tell them the truth. That's what I would like to do. And, and they're just like, no, you can't do that. They paid to be here, so, give them the points that they want for the course. And just like, well, that guy hasn't been here for 6 months. It's like, you still gotta find a way. I have to find a way? I have to find a way to make it so that he's done some sort of work, even though he hasn't done any work? Okay. And stuff like that just made me constantly sick to my stomach. And when I was like, working in TV, I would always end up at a point where it's just like, hey, you should supervise. You should direct or supervise. And it's like, all right, listen. When I was a kid, when I was in animation school, all those things, it's like, someday, yeah, I want to be a director and be a fancy guy and tell everybody, hey, you get that work done and you work faster, and, other references to The Simpsons and Hank Scorpio, etc. And then once it was like, now you're the supervisor, now you're the director, and then somebody would be like, hey, where's that show? How come everything isn't done? It's like, because you want a room full of animators to do a half-hour show in 4 days? and we discussed how that's not physically possible. So, we're doing our best. And the only way to compensate for that was, hey, everybody, are you behind in your work? Give it to me. Give it to me. I just won't leave. I'll just stay at the studio all night long. I worked the night shift, so I started at 5 o'clock in the evening. Shift ended at 2. The bus stopped running at 12. And it was about an hour-long walk home across a giant bridge, which is 1,000 feet in the air and terrified me, so that took me a long time. And then also, for almost a solid year, at least months and months, I'd go through this certain neighborhood that had a very similar name to this place that everybody was like, oh, don't go down to this place. Like, if you go to such and such a place, like, you're going to get shot. The police are always at this place. There's always gunshots at this place. And I'd always think like, like that place that they're saying has such a similar name to this place that I walk through every night at 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And then one night, there was a dude there just holding a big old paper bag on the corner. And he's like, hey man, how's it going? I'm just like, oh, pretty good. I'm just going to keep walking. I'm not trying to talk to some random drug dealer on the street, which I think that's what he is. And then he confirmed it with just like, hey, like, what do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Like, what do you need? Like, I'm good. I don't need nothing, man. I'm just walking home from work. Like, oh, that's great. Like, that's, a good guy. Like, it's good to see, like, good people doing good things or whatever. Like, every time I'd met, like, a weird sketchy, like, criminal drug dealery, like, hey, I'm out here to do crime and murders. Like, what are you up to? I'm just going home from work. Like, you're a good guy. That's great. I wish I could be more like that. Like, okay, thanks for not murdering me. But yeah, this guy, he's like, I got it, and if I don't have it, like, I can find it. Like, no, it's all good. It's all good, man. And shortly after that is when I was like, wait a second. Is such and such square and such street the same thing? And everyone's like, yeah. What is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. I've been walking through that place for like a year now, and nobody's gotten shot. There hasn't been any gunshots. I've met some very friendly drug dealers that let me go on my way. Everything's fine. Like, I don't know, one of the scariest nights was going across this bridge that, again, the bridge scared me to death. It took me so long to kind of get used to, because the bottom's also just graded, so it's like, I can just see down the whole time. So it's just like looking straight ahead, focusing, just keep breathing, just walk across the bridge. Like, it took like 15 minutes just to get across the bridge. But one night, it was just dense fog, super dense fog, and I could hear just the sound of either, some sort of RoboCop monster or a shopping cart filled with cans coming towards me, I think. But it's just like, it is just fully just fog and sound. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to come out of the fog. Oh God. And will I have room to get around? Like, is there room for me to squeeze by somebody with a shopping cart on the bridge path here? Because you're kind of somewhat caged in as well, because it's whatever, a 300-foot drop to the water. Literally know of some people who have died by accidentally falling off there, possibly on purpose. Anyway, that's morbid. So I just hear and then out of the darkness, there's a dude. And yeah, like, clearly, like, just, everybody looks sketchy at 3 o'clock in the morning, coming out of the fog. But yeah, shopping cart full of, like, cans and whatever. Like, clearly, like, that was, his home, I assume. And that was all his stuff, but also collecting up all the recycling, as you do, to make some cash to live in this world. Nothing against him other than I don't know what's coming out of the fog. And poof, he comes out of the fog, and just immediately it's just like, hey man. And I was like, hey, how's it going? Like, we have a good night. And actually, no. I think it was just like, hey. And then he was just like, hey. Like, just like earlier in the stream when it was like somebody just said, hey at me, but just like, hey. And I'm like, uh-oh, what is coming after this hey? And he was just like, just nice to know that, Superman's out here, like, keeping an eye on things. And he saluted me because I had a black t-shirt. It was like summertime. Black t-shirt, which was way too big for me. And, am I wearing Superman? No. I'm wearing Barbie Ripley today. And I just had, like, a big Superman logo shirt on. And he fully was just like, it's just nice knowing you're out here. And I was just like, that just kind of changed my life a little bit, I think. I was like, I want to be an even better person now, because somewhere out there, some random person is is in some way believing in a hero. There's a hero out there to this guy. And yeah, I do good deeds. I try to help everybody I come across. I don't want to. I don't enjoy people that much. I don't like doing things. But if anybody seems like they need some... I'm mostly joking, Kevin. But I just can't. I was raised by a crazy alcoholic who absolutely instilled in me, listen, buddy, if somebody needs some help, you effing better help them. He was like, you just think, it was like, what if you need some help? What if you're broken on this other road? What if you fall, break your leg? What if you need somebody's help? And you think about that, you make sure you're always doing that for somebody else. And because I'm a weird robot that takes everything as, computational programming, that to me becomes like anything at all. Like anything at all. I need to do something. I need to help. I can't just walk away. The amount of people I've helped move in and out of this building that I hate with every fiber of my being. Just because, like, oh, you're having a rough time. And you need help moving. So I'm gonna do that. And it amazes me a lot of the time that people aren't, they do things just like, I don't know anybody nothing. I don't know anybody any help. And it's like, yeah, nobody owes anybody anything, but being polite is a whole other thing. Like, again, I don't know. I'm sure I mentioned it on this stream sometime. Who knows? You're not all the same people that are always here. But I was coming out of the Walmart one day, and the greeter guy, nice old guy, he's not a force to be reckoned with. He's just, again, he's managed to get a job that helps him feed and clothe himself and have a place to live, and that's awesome. And he's just always super nice. And I'm sorry, like, door greeter job definitely sucks, especially when people suck. And oops. And there was this, this big dude with a cart like overflowing with stuff, and me and like some other lady and somebody else. I don't use Discord. Everybody at Streamlabs does, though. Everybody loves, though. I'll probably end up having to do some sort of animation, maybe, to celebrate Discord's birthday. Actually, no. May 13th. I've already got some other animation to get done before then, so I will not be doing that. So, yeah, the door greeter guy was like, oh, hold on, guys. Like, everybody hold up for 5 seconds. The cart guy is trying to push 7,000 carts in through the door at once. And this big guy was like, I don't care. You tell him to F off. And we're all looking at him like, what? And he's just like, and I was like, no, just wait 5 seconds. Like, he's already on his way in. He was like, I paid to be here. Like, it's his job. It's his job to be here. I'm paying to be here. So you can tell him to F right off. And F you and F this. And just whatever. It's like, I'm being paid. So because, I don't know, a lot of times I'm for some reason begging to get punched in the face. So far, not so much. And I said out loud, and I don't know, it's just sometimes, I want to say, like, my dad takes over my body sometimes, and I'm like, no, why are you doing this? But it's like, he would say something, and so often growing up, it's like, stop saying stuff, don't say stuff. And now I kind of do it too. But all I said was, but politeness is free, or it's free, but it's free to be polite, because it's just like, you get paid and I pay it. I was like, but it's free to be polite. And he definitely didn't like that, but I don't think he really noticed that much. But the lady next to me, she definitely noticed. And I assumed was kind of on my side. So then when he does, so he forced his way out the doorway and like made the guy kind of stop, and it's just like, all right, that's not cool. Which of course, when you're forcing your way out a door with a cart that's just overflowing with stuff, something's gonna fall off. So something fell down, like a few things fell off the cart. And he was like, oh, now I gotta stop and pick them up. Because it's like, yeah, because you're like trying to jostle your way around and through this other guy. And I said out loud, like, that's how karma works. Like, but also, like, when you're looking for some eye contact with somebody on your level. And I think I looked to the lady to the right of me. It was just like, that's how karma works. And she just looked at me like, you better watch your effing mouth. Or you better shut your effing mouth. I'm like, okay, I'm in the land of angry people today. Nobody wants to be polite to this nice old man or the guy who's moving 7,000 carts. Because God knows you're not going to put your cart back in the corral. Because you're clearly that kind of person. So, I realized this lady with another brimming with stuff cart is his wife. I'm drawing on a Huion, I want to say Canvas, I think is what it was called, drawing tablet. Using Adobe Animate, which still exists. Jimmy Pa, Billy Pa. Moosey Geek, coming from space, got a big helmet to cover your antlers and cover your face. Damn it. Ruined. It's past the time anyway, so it's okay to let it go. You don't need to rhyme or have a good flow. You're just a nerd and a loser, Finish your story, and then, we can blow out of here, etc. 80s references and words. You kind of lost your voice there for a minute. Diaphragm, from the diaphragm. Just dance under the moonlight, the serious moonlight, Sarah. There you go. Little more energy, Kev. So anyway, she goes over to the husband and is like, this guy over here, this guy got a mouth on him and you should punch him in the face. And he looks at me like, I like that you turned at the same time. There's not actually anything over there, Kevin. Sorry. And he's just like, you better, he's like, you want a fist in your mouth? He kept calling me the F word, but not the F-U F word, the other one. And I'm just like, come on, man. Come on. And they were going in one direction. I'm going in the other direction. I'm not saying anything at all. I'm just like, all right, thanks. Have a good day. Being annoyingly just polite, but I think that's all I said. And I can still hear him. He's like, oh, I'll come over there. Like, I'll wreck you. I'll destroy you. And it's just like, he's still yelling at me. It's like, you're already going over there. You got out the door the way you wanted to. You don't have to be polite. Carry on. You're 3 times my size. If you do decide to kill me or to fight me, you're going to jail for murder, because I will die. I promise. And honestly, Rin, I think the issue is not enough testosterone in that case. Like, the amount of compensation was just palpable. He was just so angry that anybody else existed. And yeah, I'm definitely 1,000 times prettier than he is. So of course he's gonna start calling me all these things. I might have actually been wearing this shirt. Everything about me that day definitely screamed, yeah, yell the F word at me. But that's also just a thing that happens here. There's just, you're just driving or walking right down the street and a bunch of kids will just drive by and scream that at you out the car. And it's like, that happens. But this guy was adding, I'm going to shove my fist down your throat, this in your mouth, this down your throat. And you're just like, dog, you're calling me the thing, but you really want to get into this throat. So I don't know. But again, that I didn't say out loud. I usually try not to get murdered with my, social justice nonsense. But every once in a while, I was like, I just can't help it. Thankfully, most of the time it is just something like, some random old man or old lady at a grocery store or whatever. She's like, I can't find something. What's happening? And I'm just like, how about this? How about that? I can't reach this. Like, I got you. Even if I can't reach, I'll do my best. I've taken so many things down from shelves for little old ladies, and it really fills me for the day, for the rest of the day. I'm like, I could go do a crime right now. I think I have enough positivity points in my whatever justification bank to now I could do a crime right now. I've done a lot of good deeds. I've earned a crime. Now I know that that's not how everything works, and I don't do that. But somewhere inside me, I know that that's the I know that there's a lot of people who are like, what? I donated to charity. So, yeah. I saw, so I punched this cat in the face. Like, that's not what? Like, I evened it out. I donated to charity so that I can punch cats that I see. Like, no. Oh, man. But, I don't know. It's how it goes. Like, just simple things. I obsessively need to clean up after things, whether, whatever. It has anything to do with me. At the hospital, whilst my dad was on his way out, going from like, I don't know, the break room, whatever you want to call it, the kitchen area, back up to visit him was like me and two of my aunts, and there was like some water on the floor, so I'm like, ooh, that's unacceptable, and I just scooted back into the kitchen, grabbed some paper towel, and came out to dry up the dangerous puddle on the floor that I'm well aware of, and they were well aware of, but they looked at me like, what are you doing? And it's just like, what do you mean? And they were like, that's not your job. And I'm like, yeah, we're in a hospital though. I was like, how many people are going to walk through this hall that have issues with walking, that have, crutches, that have some sort of imbalance, that are in a frail state, that if they fall down, they could be irrevocably broken even more so. And they looked at me like, and a lot of times people look at me like, oh my God, you are so dire and you're so, whatever that other word is that everybody keeps calling me. Realistic. I want to say realistic, but some other word where it's like, oh, like you're so whatever. And, hey, Waleed. And I'm just like, and I said that, and they were just like, oh, of course, like that makes sense. Like, and they were like, I can't believe we didn't do that. I'm like, well, I learned it from you guys. Like, mostly, like you guys specifically, like if you see something, you clean it up, or else, you're gonna get in trouble. But also, it was like the guy who's dying in there, like specifically, it's just like you always make sure everything's like, what if your grandmother was here? What if your grandmother was walking down this hallway? And she was, and it was like, what if, it was like, I don't want to break my nanny. I don't want Nanny to get broken while she's here visiting her and being completely destroyed mentally and emotionally by what's happening to her son. I was like, and then she's going to slip on some water. I was like, on my watch, it was like, if that happened and I walked by knowing that, it was like, that would kill me. That would kill me. And, yeah, it's a peent bird that I'm definitely not going to finish today. But yeah, and just certain things like that, like where when I do get through to somebody with my nonsense that I know isn't nonsense, that is just politeness and looking into the future slightly, and somebody's like, yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, oh, thank God. But because so often people are like, loser. Like, this is not loser talk. Like, unless you're in grade 5 in 1984, yeah, then I'm the biggest loser in the world because being nice isn't cool. But it's the future. It's the future. Sword Guy. Sword Guy H. Not Sword Guy J. Not Sword Guy B. Not Sword Guy E. He's got the H, and you know why. 'Cause he's the hero guy. He's got a sword. It's super sharp. And a tarp. Anyway, it's been a long day. And the whole point of this, we're drawing some free pictures for people. Exclamation point giveaway. I'm going to leave now, but go to the Google Doc. I forgot words. Someone named Streamlabs said, "Who want free OG in a Sab stream?" I have no idea what most of those words mean. But anyway, in the chat, you should be able to command giveaway, and it will take you to the Google request form. Fill it out as best as you can. I'm not doing 1,000 things for people. Describe one thing, one emote, one whatever. And on Fridays, I'll work on them. This is what we did earlier for most of the stream. And if I don't finish it, I'll usually work on it between streams. I'm working on this bird for somebody else now. I did this. Did this logo. Started this last week. Finished it finished it this morning. And what else we got over here? There's avatar art we did. There's a peanut. There's an emote. There's another logo. And yeah. So Fridays, check out the stream. I usually do a post, but follow Streamlabs or follow me at Mr. Curtoons, CURTOONS. The logo looks like that. And I post drawings and stuff and animations and stop motions on there. But if you follow my Instagram stories or threads, I always make sure to post that I'm going to do this stream before the stream. And Eric usually posts it in the various social medias as well, and then has the link there for you to request stuff. And as I say this, even though I'm leaving, still add to the list. Whether you're here in the stream chat or not, I still grab from that list if I don't have anything to do for some reason. I always have something to do. But if I start the stream and I don't, everyone's not here yet, I'll just start grabbing something that looks fun to me. And if I don't pick something that you want, it's not because of any reason other than I just don't want to draw that thing, or it's just something I don't think I can draw, or I don't think I can do it in the run of an afternoon. But sometimes I want to challenge myself. Sometimes I do. Oh, Kevin, I know I'm boring you. But yeah, I keep forgetting it's Friday, and it's been a long week, and my back is killing me. And I can't wait to get out of this chair because for some reason, I can't sit in the chair properly. I keep leaning towards the microphone, and I don't know. But mostly when I draw, I got that artist shoulders, and it's hard to convince myself to do otherwise. Oh, man. I talk too much. Too much. No, seriously. Can we go now? You're still... It's like you said goodbye, but now you're, lamenting the goodbye. And I'm over here this cup has been empty for an hour and a half. And your smoothie juice have been so warm for so long, and you're really thirsty. I can tell. We can all tell you're so thirsty, and that smoothie juice that you blended up it's not cutting it. It's not cutting at all. How dare that cat keep interfering and trying to shorten this extended stream time, Sarah. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. We're all a little bit broken. We're all a little bit broken, and we're all trying to keep each other together. We're all just trying to have a good time. Oh my God, I'm turning into red green. You got to keep your stick on the ice. We're all in this together, etc.
Y'all break things. I enjoy a good breaking of this and or that.
All right, it's enough out of all the imaginary characters and me. Seriously, like I said, this is the funnest job I could have, because all week long, I just animate things. There's something that I just finished. Hopefully the other company that it involves says, yeah, post it. Because I did something before where I got Kevin hanging out with some other company's logo, and I thought it was the greatest thing I've ever done. And they were like, no, don't post that. And I'm just like, what? I reused it. I replaced their logo with another Kevin or something. And I'm just like, still got to use it, thankfully. But I don't know. I get to have fun, Kevin. I get to have fun. But I'm also very tired of this week's fun. I'm so tired. All the DJs say, damn, if Ryan was a drug, they would sell it by the gram. I keep my composure when it's time to get loose, and sometimes I need to cry and drink my juice. Oh, that needs to go in the fridge. Hi, English. All right. I'm actually going to hit the end stream button. Okay, I just hit the stream ending screen button, which is close. I'm practically gone. I see somebody requesting something that I already did, so I guess they don't want the thing that I did. All right. I'll go be angry about that later. Everyone, have a great week. Come back, same bat time.